If your merchant cash advances are sucking the life and business out of you to the point where waking up every morning you dread it, you're not happy, energetic, pleased about anything, even if you are, it's just a moment until you're thinking about the level of stress and what you've built throughout this whole time. Your business's available cash flow is restricted due to the ongoing debt with MCAs and other type of business debt. Your overall cash flow in many areas is restricted due to that and much more. You're taking on more MCAs to pay off a position or multiple. You can't pay yourself a salary, and due to that, your personal bills are amounting, or if you do, it's very little. You're looking at facing a default, a bankruptcy, a past default with judgment in place. And you don't want to find yourself in this situation where you have to start from complete scratch. You're tired, you're going through the motions, you really do need relief, then you've come to the right place. Hi, welcome in. My name is Michael with Viral Funding Solutions. I've been a business funding expert, a business loan broker expert, as well as a pre-underwriter/underwriter for many years, helping people with MCA debt relief and other type of business debt for restructuring or settlement, reverse debt consolidation. There are options on the table. And in a moment, I will get into the share screen to go over a document with you that you can pick up underneath this video or somewhere around it so you can look at it as well. And you understand what all of this is and what it takes. And then around this video somewhere, there should be a form, or you can click a button that'll take you there, that you can fill out some simple details about your debt so that I can better understand via email. Then I can analyze it, give you more details, if so, and how to get started. I'm very effective in communication. I'm very energy and time efficient as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, somebody who understands where you are at. I've been there with MCAs. I focus on business credit cards now, and that's only what I need. But I understand all of this pain. Starting a business from complete scratch, building it, seeing it grow into fruition, expanding, only to have extra debt that you don't need anymore. Your revenue and sales are dipping. There's a lot of reasons for it, internally, externally, economic reasons, inflation, losing customers, average order value, lifetime gross profit value decreases, physical, digital goods, services, membership. There's a lot. So let me get into the share screen and go over all of this. What you see on your screen, it says debt restructuring. And before I go into that, there is debt relief out there for consolidation and refinancing of your MCA debt. But most people don't qualify for that right now. Why is it? Because you don't have enough existing cash flow, debt service coverage ratio, personally and business, so globally, or just business alone. And you don't have the profit, the cash flow, the credit, time in business, revenue. There are other things to look at that perhaps right now you don't qualify for a refinance or consolidation. But I'll understand that better too, and I'll help you out along the way. And I can give you more information also via email, and we'll go over that here today. So again, most people start off with what's called a debt restructuring, and that's by reducing your payment and payments and allowing you to have more cash flow to inject back into your business and then in other areas. Even have your biggest payday ever, taking a salary more, going on a vacation, kicking your feet up into the sand with your cool adult beverages next to you. You feel more confident, more calmer, as what you see on the outside. You feel the same way on the inside. Get to spend time with your loved ones, doing more of what you love with what they love to do as well. So right here, we'll start off with a debt restructuring option. Note, please bookmark/save this document as well as the page before this, so you can refer to it now and in the future. This will be a tremendously valuable resource that's up to date and things others don't share with you. Remember, you're getting a dedicated expert as well as the very best team with a custom tailored plan to best fit your needs. Please read all the way through. Don't rush. It's going to be super revealing, and I think you'll come to appreciate what you get that others don't show you, that they don't share with you, and in this amount of. So again, keep in mind you're getting an expert, somebody who's been there, who understands how to build a business, understands the numbers. I look at everything. And I'm more of the introverted, very analytical, more cerebral type. I'm not a talker. I'm not a wordsmith. And I'm very energy and time efficient. And I think that's what you want. You want full transparency. And to give you that, there will be some things in here that are tough love that will probably hurt, but it'll be for the betterment of you as a person first, and then in business, characteristically first, core values, vision, mission, to then in business. So this all comes from a place of tough love. I'm an older brother. There's two of us. And I just want to make sure you have the very best and you're in the safest of hands. You've come to the right place. Here it says, I have a very strong debt restructuring and settlement team, a specialty law firm that will help out, that works with merchant cash advances. Again, an attorney-led debt restructuring, but teams with decades of experience. So again, you're in the best of hands. Other places out there, you have to be careful of what they put their hands in, how they do it. It's not always as effective. They don't have the best team overall. All situations are unique, but you may be able to get a customizable plan where reasonably expected to see payments drop by an average of 40 or 50 to 75% plus. That's a large amount. Just imagine having now that available cash flow. You look at now financial, investment, free, operational cash flow, and so forth. And you look in these different categories and areas and buckets of your business, how much of a percentage, how much gross, net are you getting out of all of this? What will it look like in 3, 6, 9, 12 months when you're making this build out, come back? You need funding finally because you reduce your payments. You're in better position now later to get funding. And again, a restructuring is where most people start with. There's also a settlement where you will settle for less than what you owe. And then with the promise that you'll make the full payments of everything there on the settlement. And in a traditional sense, you see it where payments are stopped, money goes into a savings account, and then that will be used to help you with relief in making your payments with the settlement. So there's a restructuring or a settlement. Settlement can be a little bit more complex, but the restructuring is best because of the overall lowering of the payments and how it all works. And so in a traditional settlement, though, you see again, it stops payments and attempts to negotiate a lower debt on your behalf, so you don't have to go through all of this yourself, and stopping payments and beginning payments to a settlement firm. So there's a little bit of details there. Down here, to give you an idea of what can be done, if anything, I will need you to fill out a debt restructuring application and business debt schedule, which I can send you in time. Again, the form will be around this video, or if you click the button that takes you there, please fill that out. It's very safe and secure with me. And if you're wondering why me, aside from my business and the team that I'm with and how much I can help you and how I've helped so many others, I'm a very loyal person, integrity galore. My family will tell you I'm very humble, respectful, very reasonable, fair, accountable. I take a lot of responsibility. I care a lot, and that's just me being a Libra. Sometimes I care too much, but I really want you to win in more areas than just your business. And with the experience by your side, you'll get the very best. So to be sure, in almost all instances, we can reduce short-term repayments and get the face value if the MCA debt reduced by more than 25% on average net of all of the fees, saving 25% or more off the total debt balance inclusive of program fees is another way for me to put it. This is an over 90% approval rate. So you know the chances are higher. We'll also go into what potentially can disqualify this, some of the reasons. So stick with me. I'll get into the requirements here in a moment. And again, the form is around here, and I can give you more details via email, debt relief, consolidation. We'll focus here on the restructuring or settlement, but restructuring is a great one. And again, you'll see all of this. We also need your contracts you signed usually via DocuSign. They have a legalese in them that the legal team will use to reverse engineer an escape hatch for you potentially. You're getting the very best in this. I'm doing a lot on the back end, behind the scenes, understanding everything, how things are flowing. You'll even have a dedicated payment analyst team to help you, someone to be there by your side to put something that's more custom, tailored to you and your needs, that fits you and your mold. Get in and out quickly because this is urgent. You need to get out of this pain. It's an emergency. You need more cash flow. You need reserves for the next 6 to 12 months. Emergency funds. You're growing. You're bringing in more people to train. You have more inventory. You can't purchase that inventory. Offshore, not offshore. Shipping costs. Whatever business you are in, I've literally dealt with just about all of them. And I understand the operational needs and just about every section of it. And understand the problems that keep persisting, especially if you keep putting this off. Every time they work 100%, they all will work 100% and are successful if you do what you're supposed to do. So again, they all work 100% and are successful if you do what you are supposed to do. Too many people get in their own way. Don't be that person. Don't let the ignorance, the arrogance, the stubbornness, the ego, the cockiness, whatever it is, get in your way. If you have none of that, great. Awesome. Comes down to character and making sure you make the right decision in many ways, more than one, more than just business numbers, but understanding yourself and saying, am I getting in the way? Michael wants to help me. Can I help myself? Am I doing what's right? I'm here for you. This is used for extending and bettering your repayment period, your reducing having a reduction of your balance, reducing the interest rate that you have, changing what is considered a past due status to a current one by combining the balance or balances. There's different ways of looking at this, and every case is different. No minimum FICO score is needed, no collateral is needed, and no new loans. This is not a new loan. So no rates are involved. Again, this is not a new loan. This is a restructuring. If you can qualify for debt relief through a refinance of your cash advances and other type of business debt that is allowable, and you're not over leveraged, too consumed, you have freed up cash flow enough, debt service coverage ratio, even profitability to look at, the structuring of your business done correctly, the type of business, the nature, what you need your funds for. Also, most importantly, strong EBITDA. Again, your credit. If you don't have that, then we have to start off at the foundation of a restructure or settlement. And there's more details here. You can get access to the online bank term loan and SBA loan so you can see it for yourself, or I can share it with you over time. But I know my stuff. Again, as a funding expert, I put people over profits. I got into the funding space, restructuring, helping people because it was a passion of mine, and it still is. I have my other babies in my businesses in the digital marketing agency, lead generation space, health affiliate marketing, helping people with online businesses, CRM tools as they were inquiring for a long time, in the finance/funding space, credit, cash flow, collateral, liquidity, equity. I work with real estate investors. I've done a lot. And you have a trusted person by your side who wants to see you win in more ways than just one. If you needed a new loan, again, it explains it there in red and what I just went over. Debt service coverage ratio, in some cases, it's a different number, a little bit like a 1.15, 1.25, and I can help you with this in time. So all of that, if you have it, it could be a consolidation, into a bank term loan. But usually clients are way too over leveraged and need to restructure and then later consolidate. I will figure out this with you. You have it here to see it for yourself too. so you can self-qualify, disqualify yourself, and you're getting the very best. And just inquiring everywhere and anywhere is not right. Be very careful, protect your credit, even if it's just a soft pull with other scenarios and situations out there. And then you're also not getting the best with other places. You have to be careful. Are they doing it legally right? Do they have the best legal team support? Are they in your corner? Are you the Rocky Balboa going into the ring? Well, I'm the one when you come back into the corner after a round, wiping the sweat off your forehead, giving you water, giving you tips. I'll be there in your corner to help you. So don't worry, you have an expert in your corner who wants to do what is in your best interest as a human, person first, like I said, people over profits, and in your business. But in case you wanted to see the FDIC bank term loan and even the SBA situation, the 7A, so you can see here, there's a link you can access. Side note, besides a bank term loan or an SBA, if you're stacked with MCAs or even just one, you're likely here because you don't qualify for either any more of a HELOC and not just a home equity line of credit or any of it to start. There's also a home equity loan you might not have access to credit wise. There are other reasons, mortgage. There's so much. A second on your home you see there. Credit is down the drain. It just sucks, or it's fine. It's subprime or it's good. You have a handle on it, but it's not, it's thin. There's a lot of other reasons. It's not the right time to do it. You don't have any lendable assets or an asset or do, and I'm saying commercial real estate or investment real estate that you own, usually free and clear, for an equity injection, getting liquidity, dissolving assets, having cash on hand and in the banks, cash out refinance included, and it doesn't make sense to use it if you do. I see it in so many situations where partners come in or they have a brother or a sister. I've helped out people through a cash out refinance to start a business or take over a business. So equity might not be enough. You're saving it for your kids' tuition, for another property, investments, residential, primary. There's so much you can do with that. If you did have it, you could use that though to wipe out your MCA and or MCA like debt and anything else you needed help with. And there are different agreements, etc. Or if you have the help of a partner who has the property or somebody else that can help you, there is that, a credit partner for creative credit back funding, but you're not going to use a personal loan always to pay off an MCA or as much as you can pay, although that can be a case, or the vice versa. People take an MCA to help pay the personal loan for business that they use and more. So there's that, 401k, IRA, etc. That's another thing. Do you want to go into that? Can you go into that? Stocks? What else is there? You're limited. If it's not hard money, real estate loans to take out these MCAs or an MCA with low interest, long-term 10-year interest-only loans, or if it's not like that, it's in a different setup that could run at 1% a month with interest-only payments and a payment, there's that, or another situation. Also, any other asset-backed funding is out of reach. AR, equipment, etc. A personal term / installment loan doesn't work or doesn't make sense to do it, etc. From years of business and entrepreneurial experience, being on the front line and back line, here I say I'm better behind the scenes with systems, operational math. That's how my brain works. Like I said, I'm very introverted. I'm more of a silent partner in a business. I'm the one who would make the business flow, the operations, the system creating, the looking at the numbers. I do the front end work, but I prefer the back end stuff and being quiet. I look at a lot of bank statements, tax returns. That's where I'm really fulfilled, is when I'm up here cerebrally working. I don't have to talk much. I get the work done and in the best way possible and for you. So most people with stacked MCAs or just MCAs in general, like I said earlier, will need accounting services to get them to understand how to run their business without MCA type of funding. And if you know how to run your business and you have that in order, great. You just got yourself into a pinch, or you no longer need this, or something happened in the business, something else, or it wasn't a well-calculated decision. That's the thing you have to be careful of. So if you do need that, I can help you with it in time. If you don't, and you have it under control, great. Maybe you do, but it's not the right person, or whoever's in charge. Is it you? You're getting in your own way. It's just a matter of education, or if it isn't, there's that. So don't get yourself back into the MCA loop. Not saying that you would never probably take another MCA. The point is not to. Yes, the point is not to take another MCA, especially during the period that you're getting help with all of this. It's to better prepare you for other funding options. So you have to work on the credit if you need to. work on parts of the foundation of the business credit, personal credit, but I'm here by your side to even give you better options. And tax preparation services are just one part. You need accounting financial pros that will help you grow your business using lower cost financial instruments or an instrument. And I can help with this later if you do need it. So here are more of the qualifications for a restructure, not applying to a consolidation, but 30,000 total debt minimum in MCA debt and MCA-like debt. Example that features factored loan products like Blue Vine, On Deck, Fundbox, Headway, and much more. So again, 30,000 is the minimum. Why? Well, when it makes sense for the ROI for all parties, there would be no money made in it either on the firm, on none of this. And the amount of work it takes to do that at a low amount doesn't usually make sense. And at that point, even if you're in a lot of hardship, your maturity term is probably coming up or you just started it. Why are you facing this? So it makes it harder to justify doing anything at a $30,000 level. And there's more to it too that goes deeper specifically, but from that point, at a 30,000 top service level, it won't work. So that's what's needed for a debt restructuring or settlement. Doing less has no ROI, money in general, in it for all parties. The amount of work it takes does not make sense either. If you have other business debt like credit cards, bank loans, tax liabilities, etc., then the total of that debt would need to be $1 million at least or more for us to be able to restructure it, for us to be able to have a plan in place to effectively get rid of this. Doesn't make sense for anything less than that. Sometimes we can include business credit card debt in the MCA restructure, but that will negatively impact your credit. However, if you are in a lot of pain, in tough pain, in a hole that you keep clawing, can't get yourself out of, or when you do get right back in it, look at the movie Holes, you shouldn't care about that. If you're in the worst situation, you need to get this off your books. That's what's most important first. Figure out the rest later. You can rebound, but no, at the cost of your business going down under. Are you making the final decision? Maybe somebody else should. I've dealt with people who don't quite understand the ROI, don't understand what they're exactly doing and get themselves in their way. No negative impact to your personal or business credit in many scenarios. No upfront out-of-pocket fees, and be careful with other companies that do, because you could see that. Quick and easy application process for you. It's very streamlined, very simple. Our processes are done precisely, very energy and time efficient. Customized offer, term sheet, closing call within 24 hours most of the time, an expedited payment analyst call. You'll go through one of our principles, go over things with you even more thoroughly, the expectations. Then with the payment analyst who puts together a customized plan, tailored plan, can communicate what you have going on with customers, your credit card processing or payment processor, or how are things getting in the way with the platform you're involved with, and put something that is tailored to you and what can and can't be done. So until you go through that payment analyst call that I can help you get set up with, or the team will, you'll know. So stop making changes on processors with Shopify. You're going to then ClickFunnels or wherever you're going and starting to change everything. Before, make sure you understand what you're doing, and you can find that out with the payment analyst. There's no cost to it. So it's better that you do that than not. As I tell people, your benefit is much greater than not doing it. What are you losing with going through a payment analyst to go over things with you at the best of what they do? So here's the other debt, again, that we can restructure, determined on a case-by-case basis. That will be government loans, vendor debt, supplier debt, commercial real estate debt, term loans, lines of credits, all forms of tax debt, debt from business ventures, business credit cards, bank debt, credit union business debt, non-bank business debt, equipment loans, any unsecured business debt, any unsecured business debt, excuse me. And again, that comes back to the million part. Example, the total debt enrolled in the program is, let's say, 328,624. I moved some numbers around for clients, so you will see different things. Payment terms, 35 weekly payments. Payment amount, $6,522.73. First payment scheduled, and I didn't put that there because it'll be different for each, but you can see that. Debt balance savings, $102,830.62. So there's a lot to save. With more debt, you'll see a higher total debt balance savings for the most part. Let's say another example, $120,515 in debt is enrolled into the DR program, debt restructuring. Payment terms, again, 35 weekly payments, payment 1,723. So it's not a lot. And the one payment that you have to make. So it's more manageable. You can make your payments and payments on time. Debt balance savings, about $60,257.50. Example 3, 471,000 in debt, 31 weekly payments, $10,679.32. Payment amount, $140,282.95 in total debt savings or estimated debt balance savings. Example number 4, 975,221, 65 weekly payments, $9,858.54 of a payment, $334,415.37 debt estimated savings. So there are different scenarios that I can bring up, and it'll be different for you. And the plans are customized depending on your scenario. The shortest in terms you'll very likely get, and what is seen, is 6 months. Although that's rare in occurrence. And lately, what's been seen, quite a few come in that I've seen a lot too, is at 78 weeks, which is 1.5 years. The reason they are customized is that your bank statements are used to assess cash flow and then work with you, who is the merchant, to reverse engineer, and again, the escape hatch plan. And then this is for a payment number, an amount, and frequency that you are okay with, that you give the green light to, and that your MCA lender or lenders, depending on how many you have, will accept. The 78-week reference below is common to see too, 1.5 years. There have been a few that have gone out to 36 to 48 months or so, 3 to 4 years. Although those are much larger and much more complicated files. It happens, but it is rare to go out that long. You could see 8 months, you could see 9 months, 10 months, 11, 12 months, more or less, 6 months more or less. I'm giving you the expectation that although it's not the longest time, it saves you a lot in that time. And what it would do to your business, what's the alternative? High cost capital, high cost of funds. You're not saving much. And you look at it and you go, what's the point of me making the debt payments earlier if I'm not saving much? That's one thing, if it makes sense for you to adjust it that way. But in that time, it adds up quick. And the available cash you have, that could be the difference of generating extra 20, 30,000 a month, putting more smiles on your customer's face, having better contracts reorganization with suppliers, distributors, changing banks. There's so much that this will allow you to do. Also, you will be able to set up for ACH auto withdrawal depending on the repayment schedule that works best for your business budget. It can be weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, never daily. So you might see a bi-weekly, weekly, or monthly repayment. What best fits you, but it's never daily for the most part, and usually never daily. Here's what can cause a decline in your restructuring/settlement, and there could be more too, but here I wanted to give you some account receivables where you have large companies you're getting paid from, like Amazon, eBay, Airbnb for hospitality businesses, etc. These bigger companies, Fortune 500, you can say, or included, will honor your lien letters from MCA companies. Small mom and pops usually won't, those types of businesses. The bigger companies don't want to be bothered, so they usually honor the lien letters. So when a bigger company honors these, it can stop paying you, the business owner, and your business, and which means you'll lose a lot, if not all of your revenue. Does that make sense? A huge portion of it, percentage-wise. So that can be a case where if you're working with these larger companies through account receivables, like those well-known names, higher clientele, higher customers, they don't want to put up with this stress. They're going to honor the MCA company and companies. But if you have anything lesser, they might not mind. They're not all obligated. They don't have no legal obligation. So the funder in this case has legal right to send out lien letters to customers, but the customers have no legal obligation. And there's more to this, but I'll leave it at that. Credit card processor to point of sales, the ordering system to not change credit card processors, can't help franchises into credit card systems or a system. Shopify is an example, and I've dealt with this in the past in e-commerce and online businesses where they have everything tied to Shopify or a specific platform where they're not protected. Their whole revenue is not protected. So the specialty law firm can't help as much. They can likely come in and help, even if this is your scenario. But how much is the question? Can they really reduce a lot? They can't always protect your revenue. You can't protect your own revenue. In honoring the MCA companies, too much, everything is flowing through one platform. You have to be careful of it. Shopify is one of those. I'm not saying in every occurrence that'll be the case, but for the most part, that's what you see. And there are many other examples of this. With all that said, it's still best we get to the payment analyst step and see what, if anything, can be done. If your file is in good order, if I look at everything, what I've collected, and then also go over it with the team, we'll give you the green light. You get the green light. Okay. The next thing is then for me to schedule, usually with Calendly, an available time. And so I'll send you things. I can send it via email, give you the times. Hey, this time works. Okay, ready to go. You'll have a call with our principal. Here's their name. Here's the area code they'll be calling in from if so, and so forth. Note one, you will be taken care of and looked after in the best way possible by me and the team. I 110,000% promise you. I'm an entrepreneur, like I said myself, with multiple businesses, digital marketing agency, lead generation business, health business, physical and digital goods, online business as well, with building an online business, helping people there in other ways, CRM tools, with systems. I've built systems. That's what I like to do. And in finance, funding and in debt management, credit repair, in different areas. And people come to me because of who I am. I'm more reserved. I'm very nice to give people the benefit of the doubt. And again, I'm an older brother. I have a younger brother. There's two of us. And I've worked on myself, my character, my development. I went to school. I studied academically. First, I started with Division I soccer. Then I studied a little bit of sociology, and then I went into chemical engineering. I have a very math and system brain. Did that for a while. Had to make a big decision. I got into then business, and I got my degree there because I wanted to start one. I worked in construction, manufacturing, warehousing. I was a ramp agent at some point. Yes, in my younger 20s, and I was working the field positions in construction, manufacturing, production line. I didn't have to do that, but I did it. Everything in life is linear. Moved into a blueprint room. I learned a lot. Worked with owners. He got more comfortable with me, brought me in. I then later on worked in a financial logistics position, servicing a huge contracting company, servicing HP and Peace Health and other vendors in the facility. The company goes down under, relieves 50 plus people. Unfortunately, I'm one of them that goes on unemployment benefits and food stamp cards. Again, it was hard for me. It was a very, very tough time. Could I have just gone for another position or another career? Yes, but I didn't just want that. I wanted to now start a business. So I had a little bit of luxury to do that, being where I was at home at that time, to start building. But it was just so hard. Even going out for a meal, my family wouldn't tell you I was a burden, but that's what it felt like to me. And I didn't want to continue to let them down. Even making a payment for 25, 50%, if I had to do the whole 100%, I felt guilty. Sometimes I wouldn't even speak up. But then I started building. I put my head down, didn't talk, and I worked. I closed myself in a room and I would work. I would blog, I would create stuff, help people with their websites, grew from there, did a lot. So these are my babies. And I get you when it comes to business. These MCAs, I've taken them in the past, but no longer anymore. Other types of funding, and as a person, you matter as one. You matter to me as a person. You are not a number. For me, it's always been people over profits. A lot of what I get through here, I can give back to charity as I do. Communities, feeding starving children across the world, hospitals that have helped me and others. Note two, avoid these other companies and scenarios. What you need to be careful of are other companies that don't work well. Their specialty law firm to attorney-led team, you'll find are not that strong. Like I said earlier, others don't help precisely give you the right plan and amount, the payment analyst, the customized plan, and so much more. You'll see others trying to reorganize your debt by assets and dissolving the company, a reorganization, which you regularly don't need any at all. If those are helpful, it's for somebody who's going to bankrupt sooner, still not the best option. There are other ways of managing it, at least first. Other companies tell you to stop payments so you can go into a default on merchant cash advances and don't end up well. They won't even tell you they'll go into a default. There are strategic defaults, and this is a strategy, okay? This is a technique that you do see often in this space. So let me please explain. If you're current, usually when you're current on your payment, so if I ask you on the form, are you current, or in another way, you say yes, you'll commonly see a quote unquote a strategic default or default, a technique that's commonly used, very ethically done in all of this. So it makes a case and it builds a better case around your lender or lenders when they see this, that you're missing a payment or two. If you don't fully default, maybe miss a couple of payments by that, to help you, to take away the stress, to protect you, your home, your assets, your accounts, everything. So if you're current on payments though, and it's common and super beneficial because you can show missed payments, perhaps not a thorough default, just showing proof of missed payments, or sometimes it's thoroughly, but it's going to help you. What's the alternative? You have to show hardship as well, that you can't make the payment or payments. So the team can build a greater case around it, a more protected one, a more sure one, that all parties will benefit and have an agreement with your lenders. So they're not tossing the fit and then not letting you not giving you the best flexibility to do all this. It's best to do this, and usually is seen when you're current on your payment or payments. But it'll depend for the current payments scenario, and you'll know more in time. I can help you with this. And if things are different, you see that as well. So it's best to go through a lot of this. Again, for being current, not missing payments and things like that, it's common to see a strategic default, a technique commonly used. It's very, very, very effective, and it helps you out. So you can be better protected, protect your assets, protect your home, and more, so you can get away from these MCAs overall and have better sustainability and smoother cash flow and growth overall, keeping your business, keeping your reputation. People looking at you even more, hey, that's who they are. You're back to where you used to be. Put it this way, would you rather suffer and be reminded by every day and week, getting payments withdrawn and losing out on cash flow every day and staying still and pushing your business backwards, no matter how much revenue your business is generating or you're not? It's not that at that point. You're not optimizing for revenue all the time. You're optimizing for other metrics. You're losing out on profit at the same time, and the cost to fulfill on a service or services, what you have, your landscaping business, your construction business, e-commerce business, whatever it is, to get a customer, it takes more work. You're losing people. Maybe you schedule appointments you're not getting. Lifetime gross profit value is decrease. Your churn rate is up. Customer acquisition cost per lead, conversion rates are low, is much more than it is in what you're making over a long time horizon. And the value of your current MCAs aren't as highly valued and helpful as perhaps they were before when you had them. It's actually taking away more of your cash flow. It's adding more to your expense or expenses column, a lot more. You can barely make it by or well, but how you're allocating your funds and the remainder is not good. It's not as effective operational wise. It's stunting your growth from taking on more, getting to your outcome that you want and growing more from there. Or would the savings and extra cash flow to operate your business more effectively and have clean, hot fuel greatly outweigh the demands of the MCA payments and taking away from your business? I'm going with I'm going to help restructure or settle my debt. 100 times, 10 out of 10. And this is my tough love part right here even more, where I love and I care about you. And I don't usually feel comfortable bringing and thinking these topics up, but it's better that you hear it from someone who cares and somebody who's been in this long enough. It's going to come down to being in tough pain. How much pain are you in? And being in enough pain to make a change. Otherwise, face a default, bankruptcy, missed opportunities. That hurts a lot more than a bankruptcy in many cases, and so much more, as well as making educated, well-informed business decisions. The majority of the time, myself, team, we get it right. Independently of, too, being somebody who's been in business for a while, I look at the numbers, I look at everything, I optimize, reverse engineer. The majority of the time, the numbers are best suited in place and for you to help you out with this. But it's what you look at in your business, the numbers. Is it right? Is it not? What could have been structured better? What could have been done better? Did you have to scale back instead? Sometimes you have to face that reality. Yet too many people hold themselves back because of a lack of numbers, understanding, and how to properly operate, run, and grow a business, expand it with different number metrics. And overall, from what I see, this is again tough love. I'm not saying you have this. This is just me giving you an understanding. I see a lot of if, quote unquote, if business IQ is low. That can get in many people's way. Believe me, I see it a lot. So I'm not saying you have low business IQ. That's not what I'm here to say. I'm not assuming anything. But I see people who come through this who do have, and that's the ultimate deciding factor. And when I ask you, what's your plan B? I've had people who don't ever respond back to me because they feel embarrassed or they do have one. Maybe it's not right. Maybe if I share it with them, I'm going to critique it, or I don't have anything, I don't feel like sharing it, or I'll figure it out. I don't need to comment them. That's characteristically leaving somebody on scene. That's not being accountable and responsible. That's not being a good person of the morals, core values, vision, and mission. At least giving some feedback. I greatly and I'm very thankful of. Super appreciative of that too. I hope that's helpful and gives you perspective, especially hearing what others don't tell and share with you. I say it because I care about your best interest, not because I don't. And I'm a very introverted, like I said, analytical and cerebral type person. So it's hard for me to bring these topics up. But again, I care about you. And it's just some old brother tough love. Would you rather have somebody not tell you this, or tonality wise, not aggressive? I'm not aggressive, or I don't pressure nobody. I'm not like that. But tonality wise, through story or through other means, bringing the point. I just want you to win and be at your best as a person again and in your business. For debt relief, there are companies more so in the debt consolidation space than anything out there. You have to be very, and I mean very careful about, because they will, what they will do is ask you to go into a default on your loan or loans and open a new bank account at a different bank. This can be a huge nightmare to the business owner, yourself, and others. And getting approved for an MCA ever could be hard, let alone other options. And that's just the start. It's such a complex issue. But again, it's different when you try to restructure appropriately and not do it wrong. So you're in good hands with myself and the team. So there will be options based upon your situation. What can we, what can't we do? Could it look like this? Could it not look like this? There are also companies out there in the debt restructuring space that are not great, because you'll see a reorganization, as I said before, of debt by a controlled sale of business assets. Then there are those others, I won't say names, but I speak to the behavior. I hear are breaking laws by cold calling people on a do not call list, and others that are not strong in general. So why go to them? What are your standards? What I have though is legit, and it is, I believe, the very best in debt restructuring space, in this space, and I've vetted this for a while. With the debt restructuring, it will allow you to make payments in a way that works for you and your debtors. It's renegotiating the terms of your MCA debt to make it more manageable. It can involve extending the repayment period, reducing the interest rate, or negotiating a lower overall debt amount. By doing this, it helps you avoid a default and potentially facing a bankruptcy. If you've been in a default and you still need help, there's that as well. Documents needed, and things could be changed over time with the documents that are required. But debt restructuring application, I can send this to you later via email when you're ready. You can respond back to the email, or we do it in a different way via email with responding. Debt restructuring business debt schedule, I'll send this later when you're ready. You'll see all this. I analyze it, I break this in, and if it's all filled out correctly, great. You can move this over, look it over more, and then with the team, see if you have the green light. Income projection form, we'll send later when ready. That one isn't always required, and it might not be required when we're going over and collecting the documents. So you might not even need an income projection form. So that won't be a worry, but it's just simple stuff like, what do you project? How much can you allocate towards this? What is your plan here? Copy of all signed funding contracts. You need to pay attention to this very carefully, that you are looking to restructure. If you don't have them handy in a desktop folder, simply search your email using each funder's name and hit enter. And again, you'll get all of this, so you can go through this. You can also search using the word DocuSign without the quotation marks. And everything you sign from DocuSign will and should populate. Important, if you can't locate the contract in red here, I put it in higher font, caps locks, and I put it in a higher size, excuse me. Do not call your MCA companies to request duplicates. The customer service personnel have their antenna up and are specially trained for their clients calling for their contracts. They recognize this action as a precursor to a DR or some other legal activity. You have the element of surprise working in your favor. Don't lose it unnecessarily by calling your MCA company. We can get around them not having the contract if we have to. So very important. Make sure you pay attention to that. Please go to Experian.com and download your free credit report. The full report can be anywhere from 15 to 100 pages. Please download the whole report into one PDF document and send it back here as an attachment. That might not be required by the time you see this. So with the income projection form and the Experian, you might not even need that at all to add. So I'll communicate that with what you have. So just understand that things come and they go. So income projection plan, as of now, actually, is not needed, as well as your Experian. Or if it comes back up, you'll see it. Just so you know, things can get updated, this can get updated, move things change. Business bank statements, most recent month and month to date, copy of the front and back of your valid driver's license, so front and back. So once these DR, debt restructuring items, are received, we'll review the file and get back to you fast to let you know what the next step is to keep this moving forward, as we want to help alleviate your pain, your personal business pain, financial pain, as quickly as possible. Remember, again, over 90% of these files get approved. So with this said, up here, we can send this in via email. I'll go over it once we're at the stage where I can collect all this. It's all filled out accurately. I'll make sure it is. If not, I'll send you an email or so forth, text, etc. It's very energy and time efficient for you too. And so that way I can go about it. It's helpful for you. If you can't make it at a call, don't worry. You don't have to do that. You can do it a lot via email, and it's me who's doing this on the back end. So you're getting the very best. It's very helpful for you because you can move to the next thing, and it's all explained right here that you need. But I can collect it all with single documents that you send in an email. You can put it in a Dropbox folder. I can create a Dropbox folder for you in a share folder. You can add them in there and I can look at them. Just remind me that it's in there. I can check from time to time. Google Drive, but Dropbox is a great one. And having it organized is very helpful. And urgently getting this filled out, not waiting another day, not waiting another 2 days. If you have to, you have to, but prioritize it. It's a big necessity. It's not just getting a loan. I know you might need a loan to help you with this project, but this is more urgent. Saving your business, adding more savings. So make sure all of that is taken care of. If interested, please fill out the funding questionnaire below and let me know if you'd like to restructure your debt in the describe your financial needs field more or so. Thereafter, I will take the energy and time to analyze and evaluate if it's a good fit to go into this direction. I will let you know the documents I need to collect as well as what I need to get so I can analyze deeper as well as with my team and with the team. I'll let you know the steps that follow accordingly. So please be ready for my emails with more information. Here is my questionnaire form to complete. And if you're around it right now, you'll see it. You might have seen it already. Fill that out. So it's there. Talk soon. First and last name, this loan broker and funding expert, and what I have here too. Mobile, business phone number, you can please text. You can follow me on, and I have all these different sites and places. My story, you can learn more about myself, not just my business, but who I am as a person even more. YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Alignable, Instagram, TikTok, and more. I'm very well known in what I do. And here is my Facebook profile in case you were wondering. Yes, this is really me. There have been fake accounts. So be careful. This is the right one. I don't affiliate with these other fake accounts. I guess you could say made it to a point where I guess I'm popular, but I don't like the attention. I don't think of myself like that at all. I don't let things go to my head. I'm very confident and certain. I just don't need the attention, but I help out a lot of people. So here's one of my social media accounts. And coming back to this, let me show you the form. So again, it might be around the page you're on, or it might be a different look on this page that you see. So please complete the questionnaire form below. You'll also get a 6-step pre-approval lending checklist to get you approved for funding faster in the right service and services without making mistakes. So that'll all be there, and I can change things over time, but name, best email, your phone number, mobile preferred. So I can text you, hey, sent you the email on the debt restructuring details. Let me know if that's what you'd like to do or the debt relief. But usually debt restructuring is where we start, and you probably already know that coming into this. And so then, yeah, okay, I'll send you the documents. You're good to go. Collect it, review it. Next step, boom, you're done. You're ready to go. You're making the payments. You're good. Cash flow. Your best email that I can contact you in, like I said again earlier, make sure you do add that. A lot of people go, well, which one did you send it to? Please remember that. Energy and time efficiency again. It's okay though. Time in business, years or months. Please specify how much MCA debt or MCA-like debt do you have. Please list it there. And I don't mean the credit card. I mean like the cash advances, high factor rates advances. Some states call it the loan. How much other business debt do you have? That's your chance to list how much other business debt you have. You can list it a little bit more in detail if you want to there. Total business debt restructuring desired amount. How much are you looking to restructure? Okay, so it could be different from the other, or I might have it different in a different layout, and I'm asking how much total MCA debt are you looking to restructure? Usually all of it. When people ask me how much, usually all of it. It's not a new loan. We structure it all. But then once you see your payment plan, you'll understand better if I can allocate this amount. You have a set plan, then you might want less to be put into the MCA debt restructuring. Then you might go with less. And then also the other thing too is being strategic and seeing when your other payments on your other MCAs, if you have more than one, when they're coming up to maturity. You might have one in the next month or two. You're saying, hey, I can, it's enough. It's bearable. Those are coming to date, maturity. I can even pay it off quicker. I'll subtract that and I'll only out of the 700,000, I'll probably restructure 400,000, 430, 450,000. If that's what makes you feel comfortable. But usually the most of it's the best and you can allocate it, do it. Get rid of it. Are you current on your MCA payment or payments? Very, very helpful. Yes or no? And we went through that example. Yes, no, less of a strategic default in that case. You have probably a reduced payment, which we oftentimes encourage that. You might have a modification for 1 to 2 weeks or a month or so, or ongoing for your reason. How fast do you need to get started? Usually that's a quick one. That's ASAP. It's most urgent. Don't wait. Business industry, business name. Please describe in detail your hardship or hardships and you and your business is dealing with. How bad is cash flow plans, etc. Please give me that in here. Take the time to go through it. Here's my, oh, okay, cash flow is this, burden. Oh, okay, great. Can't get anything else. I tried something out in the past. My ROI, I want this to be the, like, you can get that specific, and that is what I would appreciate. About us, you can see more details here, how it works, and so forth. So that's what I wanted to leave you with in this video. Hopefully you got a lot of value. Underneath this video, if there's more details, it's not this page, look through it. There might be results there too, or something else of a layout, but check it out. I've helped out a lot of people. And go through the page. You'll also see the requirements if you're also reading it and going from there. Now let me look over these tabs to make sure I covered everything. Yes, we went over there. Here. Yeah, so I spoke about all of that in great detail, especially on the restructuring. We went over settlement, debt relief, if you could qualify, settlement, usually stopping payments and begin paying a settlement firm for a period of like 1 to 3 months, significantly lowering payments to like 1 to 2K or so a week. That might not be best though. Restructuring, the reverse debt consolidation is not one I usually recommend. You can't refinance, consolidate right now, or buy any other options out there like we went over. There could be more, but I showed you the majority of them. Then this is the way to get started. So please go ahead and fill this out down below in the description. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd greatly appreciate you giving it a thumbs up if you can, if you're watching this on YouTube or if it's on a direct page. And if you have not subscribed, I'd greatly appreciate you subscribing, clicking the bell notification icon so you do not miss any future content like this. And also feel free to share it with others who are in this position or you don't even know who they are, but sharing it is going to do them a lot of good and knowing that they will get the very best from a person and in business. So that is all from me. Again, appreciate you. Thank you for joining me. Make sure to fill out the form if you haven't done any of that yet. It's down below in the description if you're watching on YouTube, or right next to it, or a button you can click on to get started. And I can share with you more details via email and go from there, collecting documentation and getting everything ready and principal payment analyst, getting everything urgently done and taken care of for you, customized tailored plan to help you with your debt. All of that will be taken care of for you. So that's all from me. Thank you for joining me. Bye.